What's happening, everybody? JayShockblast here, and we are here with another Marvel Heroes Omega news video. First thing I want to show you is something that Astros shared on the forums, and it is this, the Pyslocke Horseman costume, and wow, that's all I can say. It's very bulky, but it looks awesome, and Pyslocke is definitely a character I really enjoy. This is obviously very Japanese influenced and just absolutely incredible. Love this costume. She is going to be the Horseman of War in the Apocalypse Terminal or Operation, depending if you're playing on PC or console. And previously, and this is going to break some hearts, I may have identified Rogue and Nightcrawler as the Horseman, the final of the four horsemen, and unfortunately I was incorrect. It was Pyslocke. So our horsemen are going to be Pyslocke, Storm, Jean Grey, and Magic. We've already seen the Magic costume, so we're now just waiting for Storm and Jean Grey. So that's pretty cool. So I wanted to start off with that. The second little nugget of news that I have for everybody today is something that you may have seen in my live stream the other day when I was opening the 50 loot boxes. As we were looking at all the stuff that had been added as part of the patches, we happened to scroll through the synergies, and we saw a ton of new synergies, 15 to be exact, including the recently released Elektra. So the only two characters that are coming to console that do not have synergies that we are aware of are Emma Frost and Venom. So that's kind of weird because Venom is the character that we think is coming next because he's showing up in the load screen. No confirmation on any of that at this time, but I did pull out each individual synergy, and let's go through those alphabetically. So first up we had Black Bolt, who I had been speculating could be the next character released. He has plus 3% movement speed at level 25 and plus 2% critical hit rating multiplier. Now, the reason I thought he was going to be next is because, next week we have Inhumans starting off in IMAX. So I'm going to be going to the IMAX in Providence, Rhode Island on August 31st for the 7 o'clock showing. So stalk me if you will. Next up we have Cable, and he is a plus 2% critical hit rating multiplier on both 25 and 50. So that is pretty cray-cray. Then there's Carnage, and this is probably one of my most anticipated. I actually probably want Carnage more than Venom, but I digress. I know Venom is really sought after. So health on hit at both level 25 and 50. So that's pretty cool for those of you looking for it. Then we have Dr. Doom, and wow, that is a pretty strong one. At level 25, he gets 5% signature power damage on both level 25 and level 50. So that'll give you a 10% bonus on signature power damage. Now that is usually your best power once you hit level 30. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, there are a lot of SIGs that can, imagine adding 10%, damage to blade signature, So anyway, Elektra obviously just released, but a lot of people haven't seen this yet. Plus 1 fighting attribute at level 25. That's crazy. That's usually the level 50 multiplier or synergy, I should say. And then at level 50 you get plus 3% damage versus bosses. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this makes Squirrel Girl irrelevant because you can get some damage versus bosses there and a plus 1 to fighting. I know there's a lot of people that don't love the plus 1s like fighting and durability and whatever it may be, but I don't know, I'm typically not one of those guys. I'm not really a build guy, but I like to keep it simple, stupid, So Green Goblin is going to add plus 2.5% explosive power damage at level 25, and at level 50, 5% bonus damage while moving. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, he's a character that's always moving. Juggernaut, speaking of, is plus 3% movement power damage at level 25 and level 50. So, you know, Juggernaut is actually one of the most unique characters in the game. I'm very interested to see how he transitions over to console, because he's a character that you just gotta constantly be moving, and if you are, you know, you're gonna pretty much wreak havoc. So Magneto, plus 2.5% force power damage and plus 10% orb pickup radius. I mean, I don't know if I would use that one, but there you go. Nick Fury, plus 2% defense rating multiplier, and at level 50, plus 2.5% range power damage. You're a range guy, maybe this is a character synergy that you consider. I can tell you, Luke Cage, one of my least favorite characters to play on PC, but I can see him translating over much better on console, so we'll see what happens there. Rogue, a lot of people are looking forward to Rogue, and she is going to give you health on hit, and at level 25 and at level 50 you are going to get 1 stamina on any hit. So is that worth it? I don't know. We'll have to play around with it, but I know a lot of people are excited for Rogue. Taskmaster, plus 2% deflect rating multiplier at 25, at 50, plus 2% melee power damage. You know, maybe there's some people that'll use that, melee characters. It could be decent. Ultron, plus 3% summon power damage and plus 1% intelligent attribute. So I think for summoners, this is probably going to be a pretty good one to add. So I think that is something people will want to consider. Love Ultron. He's one of my top 3 characters out of the 15 that haven't been released, I believe. No, 16 that haven't been released that I want. He's definitely top 3. Ultron, Carnage, and Black Bolt. And that, oh, did I miss X-23? No, Vision. Plus 3% range power damage and plus 10% damage versus machines. He is going to rage against the machines. Winter Soldier at 25, plus 3% range power damage, and at level 50, 3% melee power damage. Decent. I mean, that's not a bad one to have, especially for characters that do a little bit of everything. You know, like a Nova or a Deadpool. You know, they have builds where you can go ranged or melee, or some people do a little bit of both. So there you go. And then last but not least, we have X-23, plus 2% damage versus bleeding on 25 and 50. Let me just tell you guys, I enjoy X-23 more than Wolverine as a playable character. So I would be pretty excited for X-23. Now, you know, there's 16 characters that haven't been released yet. Obviously, that does not include the Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer. They are not coming whatsoever. But this has obviously been taken down. Literally, when I was done streaming and I went to look again, or actually, I think it was even by the time I switched from Xbox to PlayStation 4, this was gone. So they did take all of these synergies off. I don't know. I mean, obviously, they have to add. They're adding stuff as they go every time they do an update, but I don't know what order of operation these characters are coming up, you know. They have not announced who is next. All along, we've always operated under, okay, Black Cat, then Elektra, then what? So all signs point to Venom, even though strategically I would think Black Bolt coming out would be, you know, make a little bit more sense, but I don't know what they're doing. They might not have an Inhumans box or anything like that because, you know, the Inhumans is coming. Maybe they'll wait until it's actually on TV for Black Bolt. But it's so quick after the last event. And I know they don't love having, you know, well, actually I don't know this, but I would assume they don't love having both the Mighty Women and Hell's Kitchen loot boxes up at the same time. In a perfect world, they would all rotate out, but I digress. So what do you guys think? You know, there's 16 characters that haven't been released on console. Which 3 do you want to see next? My next 3 that I would like to see personally, in this order: Carnage, Black Bolt, Ultron. So, I don't know why Emma Frost and Vision's synergies weren't part of that list, but you know, I would imagine they will be at some point. And obviously, as soon as I know anything more, I will let you guys know. Otherwise, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and we'll see you.